In September, I quit my job, convinced I was moving on to something more exciting. But that opportunity fell through. With only a week left until Christmas, I still hadn't found anything. Temporarily working odd jobs, I managed to pay rent and buy groceries, but nothing more. My daughter, Leslie, was in 8th grade, so I was surprised when, at breakfast one morning, she said, "Mom, I know you don't have a job and money is tight. You don't have to buy me a Christmas gift. Once you're employed, by my birthday, then we'll think of something special." "Thank you, sweetheart. That's a great idea," I said, hugging her. Then I quickly cleared the table and turned to the sink so she wouldn't see me cry. Eventually, I composed myself and drove her to school, but no sooner had she closed the car door than I broke down again. "That sweet girl deserves a beautiful Christmas," I sobbed. "God, if I had even 50 spare dollars, I'd buy her gifts." That evening, Leslie and I went to church. She joined her youth group while I headed to the old chapel. Halfway through the lobby, I decided I didn't want to listen to anyone saying, "Look around and find joy." I turned and was about to leave when I bumped into my friend Jody at the door. She grabbed my hand. "Where are you going?" "Home," I replied shortly. "Why?" she asked, surprised. "I don't want to hear how wonderful Christmas is," I explained. "I understand," she nodded. "I feel the same. But maybe that's why we should stay. Come on, let's sit together, hide on the balcony, and grumble about Christmas until no one sees us." I agreed. We were like two schoolgirls up to mischief in Sunday school. I linked arms with Jody, and we went upstairs. As I listened to passages about the birth of our Saviour, my anger slowly faded. I thought about how angels shared the good news centuries ago, and it calmed me. Ultimately, Christmas is full of joy and hope, whether or not there are presents under the tree. I was glad Jody convinced me to stay. When I reached for my coat, Jody took my hand again. "Take this, please," she said, handing me a folded piece of paper. "Don't pay your bills. Use it to buy your daughter something." It was a check for $50. The symbolism struck me. Tears filled my eyes again. I hadn't told Jody about my desperate plea that morning. God had answered it. He cared.
"Where are we supposed to put all this?" Leslie asked. "We can't eat all of it," I agreed. "The turkey's too big for the fridge," Leslie exclaimed. We looked at each other and knew what to do. Almost simultaneously, we said, "Let's give it away." We knew of a large family also struggling with unemployment and empty pockets. We repacked the box, added some things from our own pantry, and placed an entire bag of candy on top that had arrived the day before. "I have an idea!" Leslie ran to her room and came back with a couple of stuffed animals, several figurines, and a board game. "For the kids," she explained, placing them on top of the food. We wrapped the box in plastic wrap and tied colorful bows. Then we carefully carried it to the car and drove it to another home. "Maybe pull away a little and wait for me?" Leslie asked. A few minutes later, she came running in, breathless, and jumped into the car. "That was great," she said. "I rang the doorbell and ran off." We laughed all the way home, giggling about our box drop adventure. After the laughter faded, we cocoa and talked about how wonderful it felt to give. Eventually, Leslie went to sleep. I arranged a modest pile of small gifts under the artificial tree that had felt so dreary just a week ago. Now it looked beautiful. Then I filled Leslie's Christmas stocking with little treats sent earlier by my mother. "You'll see," my mom had said, "Christmas should be a surprise, even for adults." How right she is, I